All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wahawah Kakadash. I want to say double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone for teaching his word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Akim across the four corners of the globe, preaching in the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. It's the brother Gabar Yahweh, the Gabar Yahweh. Shalakia. This is the brother Gabar Yahweh from GMS Hawaii, coming to you with another live lesson. And today's live lesson is entitled The E's Hate the Truth, man. And just want to show you a quick video of this exact thing, and so I want to just exemplify, these Edomites' reaction to any bit of the truth, and it's particularly this guy, Colin Kaepernick. I guess he's back in the news, and he's basically speaking out against, what happened over there in Iran and talking about U.S. imperialism. And so, these Edomites that you see in front of you, they're all sarcastic and they're all condescending with their speech, because basically they just want Jake to just catch a football, man. And they talk about how this dude's trying to get back in, because when you're a high profile personality, and this dude, he probably sold out, they use opposition on both sides, but the fact of the matter is he's a high profile so-called celebrity, and he's speaking about injustice in this country, man. And these Edomites don't like it, man. So they basically blackballed him from from entering back into the NFL and doing anything outside of making money with Nike, and I had a scripture I was trying to look for, but I want to play a little bit of this video and just to show you, this how these E's work, man. They hate truth. They're adverse to truth. Oh yeah, I got it. The way how about Shimon Shai? How many? Bear with me. Yep. This is yep. This is so I'm gonna get into this video real quick. I just pulled up a article right here. It says, I typed in how many years has America been at war, and it says the U.S. has been at war for 222 years out of the 239 years it's been in existence, and this was posted like 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. So you could add on another 3 years of that, so 225 years of the 240 so some odd years this country has been a country. And so let me play this real quick.
Back here at home, Colin Kaepernick has been known for controversy. We've talked about him several times here. People are obviously interested in his opinion, and he had to sound off on the recent attacks in Iran and Iraq.
Yeah, when Colin tweets, people listen, and now he didn't.
Kind of like Donald Trump.
It's kind of like that. They both.
Yeah, they try to. They basically trying to write him off. It's kind of like because when he tweets, people listen. And they trying to compare him to Trump.
Obviously, a very opposing views, but similar message and blowback sometimes. Now, after that U.S. strike in Iraq that Trump ordered on the Iranian General Soleimani, Colin Kaepernick tweeted out. He didn't mention him by name, so he didn't reference the attack by name, but he did tweet out about this is nothing new about American terrorist attacks against black and brown people for the expansion of American imperialism. Now, he went on over the weekend on Saturday to say America has always sanctioned and besieged black and brown bodies both at home and abroad. America militarism is the weapon wielded by American imperialism to enforce its policing and plundering of the non-white world.
There's so much historical context I believe that's missing. He obviously got some blowback. Even Megyn Kelly creeped in and said, you obviously don't know your history about the Persians and the inner battles that happened within this region. Here's where we're talking about this. He wants to be taken seriously as an athlete right now. He's trying to get back in from all sides. And then you go and you do something political like this. It's very hard for people to take him, to like him when he makes comments like that.
Yeah, because these devils, Like I said earlier, they just want you to shut up and play ball, man. You know, they don't want you to be political. They don't want you to think. They don't want you to have Salakia. They don't want you to have an opinion about what's going on in this country, because to you, they want you to believe that yeah, like the brother said, just shut up and dribble. Why? Because they just want Jake to do what they want him to do. They don't want him to think outside the box. You know, never mind what happened to your people here in this country. Never mind what your people don't have. Hey, look, you got a chance and you made it. So why don't you just be happy? And that's basically what this Edomite rhetoric is. You know, and this is supposed to be alternative news, but you know it's still run by the same Edomite devil. You know, the same Edomite devil. They don't want Jake to think. You know why? Because they hate the truth. You know, matter of fact, real quick, since I brought that title up, that they hate the truth, I got a scripture. This is Proverbs chapter 17. I believe it's 17 and 7. The Lord willing, it shows up. You know, yeah, Proverbs. It's the book of Proverbs 17. All right, verse 7. Salakia. Well, I'll start here. This is Proverbs 17 and 4. A wicked doer give heed to false lips, and a liar giveth ear to a naughty tongue. And that's right. That and this devil, the so-called white man, he's the wicked. He and she, they are the wicked. You know, and they give heed, or they take heed to false lips, to lies, man. And a liar giveth ear to a naughty tongue. Verse 5, whoso mocketh the poor reproacheth his maker, and he that is glad at calamities shall not be unpunished. And that's Esau. You know, he mocketh the poor. You know, oh, you got an opportunity to play football. You know, you're trying to get back in, and here it is, you're saying something political. You know, and what is it that he's trying to get back into? What, the inner circle, to make money? You know, to play a child's game and get paid millions of dollars and smile for the cameras, you know. But meanwhile, you know, his people, they're suffering, man. You know, so-called black and brown, man, which is really the tribes of Israel, man. Whoso mocketh the poor reproacheth his maker, and he that is glad at calamities shall not be unpunished. So that's Esau. He was glad at our calamities. He's glad at it. So he's not going to go unpunished. I'm going to keep reading. It says, verse 9. He that covereth a transgression seeketh love, but he that repeateth a matter separateth very friends, man. Right. So here it is. This man, he's trying to cover his transgressions, and he's trying to seek love. He's trying to make it sound like America is the greatest place on the earth, and that look, you got an opportunity to get into the good graces of the Americans, and now you're speaking out about something. He's telling the truth. His statement wasn't a lie. The statement that he tweeted, you know, it says after Iran strike, Kaepernick blast American terrorist attack against black and brown people, which that is, and they're gonna attack us anyway. Why? Because we're bringing out the truth. That's the reason why we got to make our titles of these videos not so forward at these devils, man. You know, where you used to write titles like Esau, the devil, the white man is Esau. Hey, they're striking that down. Why? Because they're adverse to truth. You know, they're adverse to truth. You know, he says after Iran strike, Kaepernick blast American terrorist attack against black and brown people, and that's all that's been happening. Because how did Esau get America? Through lies and robbery and murder. How did he build this country? On using the backs of the so-called Negroes, West Indians, and Haitians, man, which is the three tribes of the Southern Kingdom: Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. And he used the rest of the tribes to do so. How does he maintain his hegemony? Besides oppressing these other nations, he's oppressing us, man. And here it is. You got Jake trying to stand up and speak against it, And they're basically telling them, shut up and dribble, shut up and catch the ball, shut up and throw the ball. You want to get back in, you can't be talking political. Why? Because it's adverse to Esau. Esau is adverse to the truth. You know, real quick, this is verse 11. It says, an evil man seeketh only rebellion, therefore a cruel messenger shall be sent against him. And that's what Esau wants. He wants constant rebellion. You know, that's why he stirs up this chaos, order out of chaos. You know, that's why everywhere he goes, he brings destruction, because he loves rebellion, man. It says, therefore a cruel messenger shall be sent against him, and that cruel messenger is Yahushua. To Esau, Edom, and even 2/3 of our own people, Yahushua is evil spoken of. But to us, he's good. He's good because he's coming to release us from this captivity and destroy our enemies, chiefly the nation of Esau. You see? You see? Verse 15, he that justifieth the wicked and he that condemneth the just, even they both are an abomination to the Lord. And both of these Edomites, I'll put back on there. Both of these Edomites, they are an abomination to the Lord, man, because they're justifying wickedness, man. They're justifying wickedness. Why? Because again, what is the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American condition here in America? It's detestable. You know, it's a condition of oppression. And that's all that Jake was speaking about. The whole kneeling thing, that had something to do with what at first he was trying to make a point about the injustice that's been done to his people, and why I stand for the American national anthem, which is a racist song in itself. And then they made a big deal about that, blackballing from the NFL, so he can't make no money doing a thing that he trained his whole life to do, which is pretty much play sports. Slakia. Play sports, man. So it says, whoso rewardeth evil for good, evil shall not depart from his house. And that's what these devils do. Verse 15, he that justifieth the wicked and he that condemneth the just. And who are the just? The Israelites, man. And Colin Kaepernick, he's an Israelite, man. At the end of the day, you know, he said right here, there is nothing new about American terrorist attacks against black and brown people for the expansion of American imperialism, which is solely true, because again, how was America established? It was established on what? Rape, rob, and murder. This Nahum 3:1. Woe to the bloody city! It is full of lies and robbery, and the prey departeth not. This whole country is full of lies and robbery, man. You know, they tell you that, oh man, the founding fathers had everybody's best interest at hand, but at the same time, these hypocrites, they had slaves, man, which they viewed as chattel, you know, which they viewed as property, not even as a human being, you know. And these super elite and these so-called wealthy Edomites, they still look at us like that. They still look at us as property, as a thing to be sold, as a thing that's not important. Whatever happened to our people is not important. Here it is, you got America expanding, going through all these different nations, taking their natural resources, displacing their people, destroying their lands. But hey, the same thing they're doing over there, they had to have a start point. Well, they did it over here. You know, it says there is nothing new. So he's right. This is truth, but to the devil, it's a lie, man. To the devil, it's evil, because he's pointing out a true fact. There is nothing new about American terrorist attacks against black and brown people for the expansion of American imperialism.
Attacks against black and brown people for the expansion of American imperialism. Now, he went on over the weekend on Saturday to say, America has always sanctioned and besieged black and brown bodies both at home and abroad. America militarism is the weapon wielded by American imperialism to enforce its policing.
And that's the truth. That's actually in the scriptures. Revelation 6 and Revelation 6 and 3. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, come and see. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. And that's Esau, Edom, man. He's the rider on that red horse, man. All right. That's what these Edomites have done since they've been in power. Since they've been in power, nothing but evil has been spreading on the earth. Maccabees, first Maccabees 1 and Salakia. First Maccabees 1 and this is 9 and 1. Salakia. First Maccabees 1 and yep. One and yep. This is Second Maccabees 1 and 9. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years. And this is talking about Alexander the Creep, all right, who was an Edomite. And evils were multiplied in the earth. So once these devils came into power, evils was multiplied in the earth. Bad times, man. Wickedness was multiplied in the earth, man. All right. So that's an example of that. Whenever you Edomites were in power or ever come in power, evil is always multiplied in the earth, man. And again, nothing that this dude was saying in his tweet was wrong. It was all right. It was all 100% right, but it's truth. But what did the devil have to say?
And plundering of the non-white world.
There's so much historical context. I believe that he obviously got
So she said there's so much historical context which she believes is missing. What is missing? How was America established? Let's just stay here. Just to talk about America and its military expansion of its power. How was it established, man? Habakkuk 2 and 10, 2 and 12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establish a city by iniquity. America was built on blood, on the blood of who? The Israelites, man. That's a fact. The so-called Negro, West Indian, Haitian, Latino, so-called Native Indian, all of that. America was built on that. It was established on that. And the scripture says, woe meaning destruction to him that buildeth a town with blood and establish the city by iniquity, which is sin upon sin, because this place has broken all the sin, all the commandments of the Heavenly Father. All right. And it says that word for iniquity, the Hebrew word there is iwal, which is injustice, unrighteousness, wrong, violent deeds of injustice. That's America, baby. Violent deeds of injustice. That's America. Injustice. That's America. That's the reason why this dude Colin Kaepernick is even speaking out, because of the injustice. So he's saying basically that attack over there in Iran is nothing new, because this is what they do. This is how America was established, especially when it comes to people of color, because you Edomites are not the majority of the world. You're a minority, but you call everybody else minorities. You are your nation is lesser in number than all the nations of the earth, man. You know, and you through your so-called white supremacy, which we call Edomite supremacy, which is really Edomite supremacy because you're not white. Okay, you use what? You use death and destruction to go around the world, to go around the globe and destroy nations, man. And now these nations, they're upset with you. They're ready to go to war with you. They're ready to fight back. They're not scared no more. And that's how you know that the Lord is pulling back this your strength, man. And you're going down, man.
blowback. Even Megyn Kelly clicked in and said, you obviously don't know your history about the
No, you don't know your history, man.
Persians and the inner battles.
You don't know your
You
history.
obviously don't know your history about the Persians and the inner battles that happened within this region.
So they're saying basically because the Persians had inner battles in that region, that's okay for Esau to go in and take out one of his people for a threat that you think might happen, or that was supposedly might happen. You see, because when you go back into the history of the Persians and the Edomites, whenever they were dealing with them, they were taken out of power. Let's read this. This is First Maccabees 1 and 1. It says, and it happened after that Alexander. This is Alexander the Great, or we call him the Creep. Alexander, son of Philip, right? You see, Philip of Macedon, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chetam, had smitten Darius, the king of the Persians and Medes, because they, in order for the Greek Empire to come to rise to fruition or power, it had to take out the ruling power. And at that time, that ruling power was who? The Persians and the Medes, man. And they said what? They said what? They had killed Darius, the king of the Persians and the Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece. So here it is, Alexander the Great. He reigned the first ever over Greece, and he basically had the known world in his hands at that time, and made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth, and went through the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations. And if you know that history, he had to end up stopping his expansion somewhere over there in Persia, man. And he had to, he died. He didn't come back to Greece. He ended up dying over there or whatever. But his soldiers were tired. But the point of the matter is that this devil said that he don't know history, which he may or he may not. She don't know what he knows, man. But that's the truth. What he's saying is the truth. Because according to this article right here, it says America has been at war for 222 years out of the 239 years has existed. It says this morning I discovered an interesting statistic. America has been at war 93% of the time. Why have they been at war 93% of the time? Because these Edomites, which are the heads of this place, they're in power. And they brought war on the earth, man. And how do they take it? The world by the sword, man. Not by diplomacy, not by luck or strength, but by that sword, man. America has been at war 93% of the time. 222 years out of the 239 years since 1776, i.e., the U.S. has only been at peace for less than 20 years total since its birth. I wanted to get a better understanding and look at the other countries in the world. As always, we can try to extract information from Wikipedia since there are pages dedicated to information. It says, if we look at the U.S. page, there are tables, so it should be easy to extract. For instance, 1811 German coast uprising, the United States rebel slaves supported by Haiti. Okay, location and territory of Orleans. It says even if the war did last one day, we will say that the U.S. were at war in 1811. The information we want to confirm can be there were 21 full years from the January 1st to December 31st where the U.S. were not at war once during those years. From the row above, we can claim that the U.S. were at war in 1811. Most of the time we have, i.e., there is a beginning here at 1775. And it's just going in the breakdown of it. It says, well, it can be a bit tricky since we have 3 dates, and they just go into all that, the extra stuff. But the point of the matter is that here it is, this country that y'all call the greatest country in the world and the beacon of freedom and light and all this other madness. All you've been doing was fighting, man. Pretty much the whole time you've been in existence, this place has been at war. Why? Because the devil is in power, man. Because Satan is in power, which is his physical counterpart, which is the devil, the so-called white man.
Where we're talking about this, he wants to be taken seriously as an athlete right now. He's happened within this region. Here's where we're talking about this. He wants to be taken seriously as an athlete right now. He's trying to get back in from all sides. And then you go and you do something political like this. It's very hard for people to take him, to like him. And
the people that they want him to like, he wants to like them, are them Edomites, man. Again, they want you to just be a dumb athlete. That's why whenever they show a so-called athlete, a jock, he's always dumb. He's good physical, but his mental is always stupid. They don't want you to think. They don't want a thinking Israelite man. They want you to just be basically a physical slave, man. Run, nigga, run. Jump, nigga, jump. Why can't he be political? Why can't he have an opinion about what's happening to him, man? Because most of Jakes, they get into the football, basketball, whatever. They're just happy to be there, man. You know, they're happy to be there, happy to get a couple $1 million so they can get their mama out the hood, buy a little house, get a car, and play basketball for the rest of their goddamn life, man. And never mention anything about what's happening to their people or the plight of their people. Because once you start talking about the plight of your people, then it's going to make people think, then it's going to make people look, then it's going to make people ask questions. And these devils, they want to continue to lie that everything is all right, but it's not.
Makes comments like that sometimes.
Right, I guess, and yeah, some people are calling it un-American, of course, and some people actually turned around and said that he's the one being racist, and he's saying that this American imperialism that he's seen over the years or throughout history is racist. So it's kind of like,
which it is. It's nothing but so-called racist, man. That's what you devils do. That's what you devils do. You look at the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American and their condition here in America. Was that love? You know, we talk about slavery, but then you can go past slavery to what? To the convict leasing system. Then you can go to the Jim Crow. Then you can go to the so-called civil rights movement. And now the so-called Jew has co-opted what you Jakes was doing in the 60s. All that fucking marching and shit. Marching up and down the street. Like that's going to bring freedom and respect, man. Forced integration. Come on, man. Separate but equal. Then they put you in the integration schools, which it was even worse, man. Because the Edomites moved out the inner cities and moved to the suburbs. And they took their money, took their wealth, and left your schools in the inner cities, basically prison cells, man. You know, for 5 or 6 hours a day, fucking prison cells, and with subpar education, subpar educational tools, subpar teaching, classes with 30 and 40 and 50 students in one class and one teacher trying to explain to them something. You know, kids growing up in abject poverty. That's all racism. The institution of America is racism. Going back to Habakkuk 2:12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, establish a city by iniquity. Behold, is it not the Lord of hosts that the people shall labor in the very fire, and the people shall weary themselves for very vanity? For the earth shall be filled with knowledge, with the knowledge of the glory of the Most High, of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, which it is, which is this word, this truth. And the waters cover the sea. Khan, Shalom, Apostle Ramlab, and all you Akim, Shalom. Apostle Ramlab had put up, I'll put it up on here. I'll put it up on here. Apostle Ramlab just put up a statement. I can see if it's on my thing yet. I gotta wait for it to come up. But he said, Jake caught the best downs for civil rights. Now Amalek is bending or benefiting from the rights without having to march and catch those beatdowns. Right. Jake caught the beatdowns. Yeah, we got beat. We got mowed down in the street with water hoses. You know what I'm saying? Food dumped on your head. You know what I mean? You got beat. You got harassed by the cops. Come on. You see the pictures? Look. Hold on, Shalakia. Let me see. Civil rights. You type in civil rights in a Google. When you type in civil rights in a Google, what you see? Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, you got Jakes marching. Look. This ain't racism. They sicking dogs on Jake just for protesting for their civil rights, man. Sticking canines on Jake. Jake getting beat up by the cops for standing up for what he believe in, man. Because see, this devil don't want you to believe in nothing. This devil don't want you to believe in nothing, especially concerning your rights, man. And like the elder apostle said, he said what? He said Jake caught the beatdowns for civil rights. Now Amalek is benefiting from the rights without having to march and catch those beatdowns. Yeah, because the so-called Jew ain't going through this. Ain't no Edomites beating so-called Jews over top of their head for marching for your civil rights, locking you up for your so-called non-violent protests. And in the 60s, Jake was hella non-violent. Jake wasn't even fighting back. They were just letting Jake was just letting Esau do what the hell they want with him, man. And Jake went through this. Look at this old man. He getting his pants ripped off by a dog, man. You know what I'm saying? Look who's holding the animal. Esau eat him, man. And now these other nations, such as the so-called Jew, any of them, the homosexuals, the lesbians, the trannies, they can all march in virtual peace, man. Nothing's going to happen to them. Nobody's going to infringe on their rights to march. But Jake had to go through all kinds of hell, man. Because what? This nation hates us, man. This nation can't stand us, man. All right? Fight racism. Segregation and Democrats don't mix. I don't know what that means. You see? Jake caught all kinds of hell, man. And then what do you other nations do? You co-op these different things that Jake did. All that marching shit, all that non-violent sit-in shit. You co-opt it. But then you say that this place is not racist. I mean, you basically telling this dude to shut up and just deal with what he got, man. This Jeremiah 32:18. Thou showest loving kindness unto thousands, and recompenses the iniquity of the fathers into the bosom of their children. So you Edomites, you're gonna get the recompense of your fathers, man, because really you are your forefathers, man. You are them in a reincarnation. You just don't remember. But Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai remember. Okay. It says, thou showest loving kindness unto thousands, and those thousands are Israelites, and recompense the iniquity of the fathers into the bosom of their children, because he's done it to us after them. The great and mighty power, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai of hosts is his name. You see? And so you heathens, you're about to get recompense. You Edomites, you're about to get recompense. The Heavenly Father is about to recompense you for all of that, man. All right? Let me finish playing what she was talking about.
When he makes comments like that sometimes.
Right, I guess, and yeah, some people are calling it un-American, of course. And
it's un-American. It's un-American to speak against America for its wickedness. That's un-American. But we ain't Americans. The so-called Negro, you Edomites, you've told us that many, many times. The so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, we're not Americans. We don't get treated like America. Hey, something Malcolm X said. He said, you ain't American, because if you're America, you wouldn't catch no hell. He said, then who are you? You're nothing but a slave. And that's what these devils believe, man. You see? Because let's say Colin Kaepernick was a homosexual or a so-called Jew, and he was speaking about what's going on. They wouldn't be saying that. They wouldn't be saying that shit. Oh, it's un-American. And then they're gonna turn around and say it's racism. How is that racism?
Actually turned around and said that he's the one being racist, and he's saying that this American imperialism that he's seen over the years or throughout history is racist. So it's kind of like,
and it is. But you see how the devil try to switch it around on you because he don't like truth, because he's adverse against the truth. This is Psalm 73 and 8. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully. You see, they are corrupt and they speak wickedly concerning oppression. Oh, you're being racist. You're talking about American imperialism and how its imperialism is racist, but it is. There's no question about it. Look at what you did to to the so-called Africa, to the Jakes and them Hamites that's over there, man. Look at you. Look what you're doing to the Middle East, man. You sending these troops over here from America to the war in the Middle East, and they go over there. They don't even look at them people like they're human beings, man. You call them towel heads. You call them insurgents. You know, Hajis. You know what I mean? When you went over there to Vietnam, what you call them? You call them gooks. You call them Viet Cong, Charlies. You see? Why? Because they dehumanize people. They take the human effect out of it so that you can just look at these people like they're nothing, all while expanding U.S. imperialism, man. Because the U.S. didn't go to Iraq to free Iraq, man. Iraq was already free with Saddam Hussein. It was the only westernized Islamic country in the Middle East prior to Saddam Hussein losing power, which he was a proxy for the U.S. anyway. And when they got tired of him, they took his ass up out of there, man. Took his ass up out of power. But them people, even they'll tell you, I was there in 2003, 2004, 2005, 2009, 2010. In my first deployment, a lot of my Iraqi people said it was better when Saddam was in power, man, because some people didn't have no assurity of life after that shit was over, man. Yeah, he had secret police. Yeah, he did some wild shit, but nothing on the level of what America has done, man. Because Saddam Hussein, he's out of power. Y'all so-called killed him. Why you still there? Because they wanted the resources out of that land, just like the resources in Afghanistan, the uranium, the lithium, the poppy seed, all of that. Hey, since America's occupation in Afghanistan, hey, them people are on drugs now, man. You got heroin addicts, and heroin ain't no joke, man. Let me see if I can find it. That's racism, man. The whole policy, all your policies in America are racist policies, man. Everything that you do, you know. But especially when it comes to the so-called black and brown people, all right? You really don't give a fuck about them, man. And wait, when Jacob Trouble happened, you really gonna see. You're gonna see the horns on this devil, man. They want you to be quiet and shut up and don't say nothing. Okay? Fuck you. Yeah. Yeah, it says this is from 2019. Yeah, this is the one that I seen. This is the one that I seen. And this is what happened after the US went up into their country talking about they was chasing some damn terrorists into the mountains, man. This is what Afghanistan looks like right now, man. All right.
Walkers above, desperation below.
You see?
A bridge crossing the Kabul River provides a sad spectacle of addiction and decay.
Our hearts melt seeing our countrymen in such condition. They neither have death nor life. They have no recovery. I swear it is better to die than to have such a living. Yeah. Hey, but this is in America. They're going through this same shit right now in America.
Anyone seeking confirmation of Kabul's deepening heroin crisis only needs to cross the Puli-Sukta bridge. Long a busy conduit, it's increasingly the place for Afghans to pause, reflect, and pity those swallowed by addiction.
This is what America has done to this country.
Some find the sight perversely entertaining, enjoying a quick hit of curiosity at someone else's expense.
Anyone passing by, either man, woman, or child, they at least look once. We all feel pity for them.
Down below, there is little focus on those above. The struggle to survive is their own. In their misery, some see a metaphor, capturing the country's own struggle for freedom and a future.
It's just because the government, the country is so broke, you know.
It's just because the government and the country is so broke, you can't get a job. You cannot get nothing. Why is that? Because of U.S. imperialism, man.
You cannot get jobs.
You can't blame that on the Taliban.
Nothing is for life. You need something. Sometimes I close my face or my, you know. So I was using to be better fool so nobody can see me. But still I don't care, you know. What I must not lose, I have been lose this.
And the reason for that is because of what happened in 2000, man. You know how the U.S. government forced that drug problem on people, man. You can't blame that on Negroes, man. You can't blame that on Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. That's Edomite. That's what happens when an Edomite comes into your country. That's what happens when an Edomite comes into your country.
You know, everybody's on different sides of this, but one thing's for certain, you know, he didn't directly mention the attack on Soleimani as the reason. It just happened to be the day after.
Well, if he doesn't get along with football, he's got a great career in punditry. Thank you so.
You see, if he doesn't get along with football, he got a great career in punditry. You see, yeah, that's why we got to get the fuck out of here, man. And you devils, you're proud, man. You're evil. You're a nasty nation. And you know, when we start speaking like this, that's when they cut our videos. And it's sad because it's the truth, man. We're not making this stuff up, man. Revelation, this is Revelation 13:9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth in the captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints, man. And that's called recompense, man. You do something like that, you kill somebody with the sword, you're going to be killed with the sword. You put somebody in captivity, you're going to be put in captivity, man. This whole world is suffering because of this devil, man. The whole world is suffering because of Esau, man. You the worst ruler on the planet Earth, man. You the worst. The scripture call you the basest of men. This is Sirach 10. Sirach chapter 10, verse 8. Sirach 10 and 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Right. And that's the reason why you Edomites are going out of power and the Israelites are coming into power. They're going to have power for eternity, man, because all your dealings are unrighteous, man. And all them injuries and all the riches you got, it was by deceit, man. It was by deceit. Just like this whole situation, you know, I'm not sure if it's a wag the dog situation where they're trying to take, you know, attention off of Trump's supposed so-called impeachment, which he not going to do no time. He ain't going to do no jail time or nothing. And he might fuck around and get win again. So it's really not, it's all for nothing. But they use these kind of things to take your mind off of things that's happening. Like right now, they're putting that what's that Amalekite name? That's Harry Weinstein or whatever. They putting his case all in the forefront now to get your mind off of what's going on, man. Because this is what they do. There's no truth in them. They speak lies because they're the father of it, man. And they're adverse to truth. And these Edomites right here, they show you, man. You know, these Edomites, it's nothing different than them or CNN, man. These people are a bunch of demons and devils, man. And the world's going to be a better place when they're out of power, man. All right? Hey, so I hope brothers were edified. I pray that you are edified. You know, that's why I do these lessons, man, to try to edify, man. You know, because, you know, this devil, he hates the truth, man. And this is why he's cracking down on our videos. This is why he's cutting all our videos, cutting the channels, you know, because he's adverse to the truth. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, with that, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Karkadash, and double honor to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone for teaching his word and truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Akim. Keep pushing, keep striving. We almost out of here. Hey, Shalom.